Okay, I see people are still connecting. So we'll start smoothly. Just I hope that you see my screen. Do you confirm?
Yes, we do.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, and my colleagues from the project, I asked them to help me with accepting people that are connecting. So this is the thank you all of you for participation to today's webinar. This is the second one that we are presenting with regards to the Prevent PCP tender. As you see, it is recorded so that we can put it available for who is interested and couldn't participate to the webinar. The first one is already online, so you can check it on the project website. And that's it. Yeah. So just a brief presentation. I'm Youssef Bouali, who don't know me, and I'm a senior AU project manager within engineering informatica, working on a research project mainly focused on security aspects, and engineering is the coordinator of this project. But as you can see, a lot of stakeholders that are involved. Mainly today you will talk with Kemia, who is the lead procurer and also responsible for the tender. So just a brief let's say to see the agenda planned for today, we will focus mainly on the tender procedure and the upcoming milestones, deadlines that we have set. The first one is the signature of the NDA and the AURI documents, which are necessary in order to receive all the remaining documents of the tender. And also colleagues from Kemia will present more details about the administrative procedures and the different envelopes that needs to be prepared for the tender. Yes, sorry again, and then I will leave the floor to the colleagues from Kemia to go on with the next agenda points. Thank you.
Thank you, Youssef.
Hello, thank you, Youssef. Just a moment, please. I'm trying to share my screen. Panayota, could you please do it for me because it says,
yes,
okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. So, hello, good morning. I would like to welcome Panayota, your mic is on. Okay, great. So I would like also to welcome you to our second webinar on the tender documentation. So my presentation will be on the tender procedure. Next, please. As you can see here, we will discuss on the NDA and AURI submission, which is the first step, the first documentation that is requested by the potential suppliers. Then we will discuss on the tender submission content and format, and we will close this section with the process on opening of tenders. Next, please. So, as you all may know, the tender has been issued. You can find all documentation in our website. And in order to receive the whole tender package, you can just download it from the website. As of from the website, you can download the non-restricted information. As of the restricted information, only those candidates that will sign and submit the NDA and the AURI template will receive it and will be invited to submit a tender. It's important to highlight that consortia can eventually change after the submission of the NDA and AURI template, and you can, of course, compose your consortium as you wish. Next, please. So the tender, you are requested to submit to fill in, sign, and submit two documents. These documents are named as the tender document number 2 and tender document number 3 is the NTA document and the URI template document. For the first one, you are requesting to ensure the security confidentiality of the information shared between you, the technology vendors, and the Prevent PCP project. As of the URI template, it establishes the preparedness of the tenderers to handle the EU restricted information, and of course, you are requested to give contact details of the local accountable person. Next, please. So both documents will you will need to send them by email to this email preventpcp procurement@kemearesearch.gr, indicating that it relates to the specific dossier. And only once we will receive these documents and we will check whether they have been filled, signed, and submitted adequately, we as KEMEA, as the lead procurer, we will send the restricted information in the physical address that you have indicated in the URI template. Kindly note that the deadline for the submission of both documents, it's the 1st of July. Next, please. So it's also important to note that the person signing both documents on behalf of the tenderer must have, of course, the necessary powers to bind the tenderer. This means that together jointly with the two documents, tender document 2 and the tender document 3, you need also to submit the proof of this power, either by submitting a document from the Chamber of Commerce in which you are registered, and this is a sufficient document as long as one of the persons appearing in the document is the one that's signing and has the power to do so. Next, please. If there is no such a document, you can also submit, you can either submit a proxy indicating that the person signing have the power to sign, and the Chamber of Commerce, of course, indicating that the person that signed the proxy can bind the company and transfer those power to a third person, namely the person that signs both documents. Next, please. So as of the tender submission, there is an annex in the tender document, the main tender document, the call for tenders. There is an annex, Annex 2, where you can find the checklist of documents and actions. As you may see, there are you're requested to submit 3 envelopes, envelope A, envelope B, and envelope C. All of them, they will be submitted in the next step after you will receive the confidential information, and then you can, of course, formulate, draft, and submit your overall offer, the technical one and the financial one. All documentation has to be signed by the tenderer, or of course the duly accredited representative. And as you may see here, there are also documents that are not needed to be included in any envelope, as the NTA and the URI template. As I mentioned before, and I would like to repeat it again, both documents, the NTA and URI template, need to be filled in, signed, and stamped and sent by email to the email address indicated beforehand. The other documents, they need to be included in envelope A, envelope B, and envelope C. Panayota later on will explain you in detail how will be this process and what exactly is requested to you are requested to include and submit. So all these 3 envelopes will need to be sent by post within the set deadline, which is the 3rd of October to 2020. Next, please. So as of the tender submission, as the overall process, and when I'm saying I'm talking about tender submission, I'm talking about the actual submission of your offer, meaning the next step after you have sent the NDA in the URI template and after you have received the confidential information. So what is of course needed is to use the Prevent PCP tender documents, the specific templates that are uploaded on the Prevent PCP website. You can freely download them from there. You have to indicate that it relates to the specific dossier, R&D services within the Prevent PCP project. You have to, of course, address your offer to the lead procurer, which is the Center for Security Studies, and specifically to the attention of Ms. Panagiotta Benekou, who is the representative and the main contact person on behalf of KEMEA. And the offer needs to be delivered by one of the following ways, either by hand in the official registry office of KEMEA in the specific address, or by registered post services with shipment notice and confirmation of receipt. In such case, you have to inform the lead procurer, you have to inform KEMEA of the exact date of the dispatch, attaching a proof of the date of shipment, which must be, of course, be before the deadline of the reception of tenders, which is the 3rd of October 2022. Next, please. So our last slide is on the opening of tenders. The opening of tenders will take place on the same day, the 3rd of October 2020, and the location of the Center for Security Studies, KEMEA. The opening will be carried out by the Prevent PCP KEMEA Procurement Board. And of course, every technology vendor, every tender can inform us about the presence of an unauthorized representative who may attend the opening. What is important to note is that during this process, the opening of the envelope, the only information that is going to be provided is solely the names of the companies who have submitted the tender. No other information, for example, the content of the offers will be shared. In case that you yes, thank you. So in case that you wish to attend the opening session, you need to send an email to the specific email address at least 48 hours in advance, specifying the name of the officer, of the person that is going to represent you during the opening of tenders. So that was from my side. Panagiotta now, on behalf of the lead procurer, on behalf of KEMEA, will present you more in detail the content of each envelope, namely the content of envelope A, B, and C that you are requested to submit during the second step. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eleni. Just give me 1 minute to upload the presentation, please. Okay, can you see my presentation in a full mode? Yes.
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 Okay, that's excellent. Good morning. I would also like to welcome you to the webinar of Prevent PCP project. My name is Panagiotta Benekou, and I'm the project manager of the Center for Security Studies, the lead procurer of Prevent PCP project. I'm going to present you the administrative procedure of the tender submission. The agenda includes a description of the contents of envelope A, referring to administrative section, of envelope B, the technical section, and envelope C, the financial section. Before I start, I would like also to remind you that the deadline for the tender submission is 3rd of October 2022. So starting with envelope A, the administrative section, envelope A shall contain information and evidence on the eligibility of the tenderer to be provided by means of the documents forms, declaration of honor, DT6, or the members of the consortium, subcontractors and third parties to prove compliance with the exclusion, selection and pass-fail award criteria, shall fill in, sign and submit the declaration of honor. In the case of a joint tender, all the members of a consortium will have to fill in, sign and submit together the consortia statement, TT7. In the case of subcontracting, the subcontracting statement will have to be filled in, signed and submitted. And finally, the legal capacity and the representation of the tenderer, all the members of the consortium, subcontractors, and third parties shall be proved by filling, signing, and submitting the legal capacity of the tenderer statement. Just have in mind that all the necessary documentation for the exclusions criteria, selection criteria, and pass-fail award criteria will be submitted in envelope A. Continue now with the envelope B, the technical section. The technical section must include a technical plan that outlines the impact of the challenge, the validity of the technical approach that will be adopted, and quality of the tender based on the weighting award criteria. It should include a declaration of pre-existing rights relevant to the tender's proposed solution, an Excel that will be provided as part of Annex 6, referring to confidential information once the NDA TD2 and jury template TD3 have been submitted. And additionally, the technical offer, the TD4. Some remarks for the technical section. Tenders failing to meet the requirements and submit all the necessary documentation will be excluded. The technical part must provide a detailed technical offer for phase 1 and must specify the plans for the objectives of the subsequent phases 2 and 3 and beyond. The information provided in the technical section of the tender will be used to evaluate the tenders on the basis of the weighting award criteria and the pass-fail award criteria, and tenderers are recommended to describe their offer for phase 1 and plan for phase 2 and 3 in a maximum of 50 pages. Continue now with the envelope C, the financial section. This envelope must include a detailed financial offer specifying the binding maximum unit prices for all items needed for carrying out phase 1 and binding maximum unit prices for items that are expected to be needed for phase 2 and 3, a fixed total price for phase 1 and an estimated maximum total price for phases 2 and 3, broken down to show maximum unit prices and the number of each unit needed to carry out phase 1. In addition, the financial section must include a price breakdown that shows the price for R&D services and the price for supplies of products, a price breakdown that shows the location or country in which the different categories of activities are to be carried out, and the financial compensation valuing the benefits and risks of the allocation of ownership of the IPRs to the contractor. The financial compensation should be at least 10% of the total price for the 3 phases. The offer must indicate how this is translated into each of the phases. In phase 2 and 3, the percentage of the discount can be increased. Some remarks as well here for the financial section. The maximum unit prices quoted for each category of items remain binding for all phases. The price paid to the contractor will cover all costs incurred by the contractor, included but not exclusively software, facilities, integration costs, and so on. The lead procurer is not going to pay any additional cost. The price that will be evaluated is the actual price offered. The information provided in the financial section of the tender will be used to evaluate the tenders on the basis of the price, award criteria, and the pass-fail award criteria. The price for phase 2 and 3 offers must be based on the maximum bidding unit prices in the tender and the price conditions set out in the framework agreement. Similar price breakdowns will be requested for the call-offs for phase 2 and 3. The Greek VAT regime will apply. So, taking this opportunity, we would like to say a few words about the Greek VAT legislation. The Center for Security Studies may be entitled to a deduction of input VAT. In case of suppliers from EU member states, the reverse charge process, for example, invoicing without VAT, will be applied. For suppliers from Greece, national VAT procedures apply. And in case of suppliers from third countries, the VAT is calculated and reported by KEMEA. If the supplier upon import is obliged to report VAT according to the rules of the home country and the invoice contains VAT, that VAT is not deductible in Greece. Instead, VAT amount is to be considered as a cost of the service. At this point, I would like to thank you for your attention and I'll give the floor to Youssef. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for your presentation. I would open the floor now to the questions. Just I saw already that there are some questions in the chat, and of course, I will ask my colleagues to provide a short answer now, and of course, we will provide the official answers and publish it on the project's website. So, just I'm trying to start seeing the questions. The first one says that do you accept the scans of the documents for TD2 and TD3? Eleni or Panayota? Yeah, means what is the format of the documents that
yes, actually, since we haven't foreseen any Q&A section, it is just for at informative level. Of course, we will include all questions in the Q&A document that is going to be circulated and uploaded in our website. So, when you say scans, what is important for us is to see that there is it's properly, adequately filled in and signed. So when you say scanned, you mean that there is no digital signature, I suppose. But still, if the signature is visible, of course, we do accept scans, if I understand correctly your question.
Okay. The other question is, do you acknowledge reception of NDA and URI documents when you receive them by email, I imagine?
Yes, we will acknowledge the reception of the NDA and URI template. We will send out an email actually saying that we received it, we checked them, everything was fine, and today we are dispatching the content of the confidential information. So there will be one email including everything.
Okay, thank you. I'm taking note only of the questions just so that we have all of them. In the meanwhile, I will read the next one. Is the contractor allowed to make modification in the NDA?
If I understand correctly your question, to make a modification, if you ask whether the contractor is allowed to change the template, no, the template is specific, and you need to use the specific template that has been included in the tender package. If your question is related to whether you have sent an NDA and now you want to make any modification, yes, this is still acceptable if it is within the deadline set. So by the 1st of July, it's the last day that you can send your final, let's say, NDA.
Okay. Next question is how to arrange when we want to join forces among 2-3 companies to submit the tender. Is it sufficient that prime contractor will sign NDA or also and the other documents, or they need that all components of the consortium need to sign it? Yeah, this is, I guess, what they mean.
Actually, there is a disclaimer saying that all members of the consortium should sign the documents. However, we do understand that at this stage, maybe you have not finalized your consortium. So what is requested is to have the NDA and the URI template signed by the organization that takes up the responsibility to ensure the content of both documents. So if you do know who is going to be a member of your consortium, yes, it is important to send also the NDA and the URI template signed by them as well. But if not, it's we can just receive the NDA and the URI template signed by the primary member of the consortium, the primary tenderer.
Okay, next question. We can provide a physical address outside the European Union for the EURI document. Do we have an answer for this, or?
Yes, as long as you are eligible to submit a tender, please carefully read the provisions included in the TD1 in the call for tenders, where it's explicitly described the eligibility of the tenderers in terms of their place of performance and establishment.
Okay, another question, but I guess that you already have answered to it. Do all consortium partners have to sign the NDA and the EURI document? But you have answered to this. Another question from Florian Leibovici says that we have sent different questions related to NDA and URI to the Prevent PCP email and have not received answers. When can we expect the answers? So this is also, I guess, you can help me with this. When we will publish all the official answers?
I think the deadline is the 30th of June. But since we have already received all questions, the deadline was last week. We will probably do it before the 30th of June. But the deadline foreseen is the 30th of June.
Okay, so do you confirm that the answers will not be sent individually by emails, but they will be published online on the website, right?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay, great. Thank you. Do we have any further question on the chat? Okay, so anyone else would like to add anything? Otherwise, we could close the webinar here, and as always, we will publish the recordings online. And as the colleagues from Comia just said, the answers to all the questions will be published soon on the website. Okay. Okay, great. Thank you all for your participation, and let's keep up and get in contact for what I guess that also you can still continue sending your questions with regards to the other aspects, right? So, and we have different deadlines, and also we'll inform you about the upcoming webinars that we will be organizing before the summer holidays. Okay. Thank you all, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.